Hey there! In this week's video, let's talk about carbs. I want to break carbs down simply, and I love nerding out in the science. And I want to explain to you how and why you absolutely still need carbs in your life in perimenopause and menopause in order to lose weight. Okay, I feel like I get this question so much around carbs that women are simply scared to eat carbs because of keto and low carb diets. And I want to walk you through why we need carbs in our life, but more importantly, how that should look in this phase in our life in order to allow for weight loss in perimenopause and menopause. So if you've been curious about carbs and what and how much and just what your days need to look like around carbs, then you're in the right spot. If we've not met yet, my name is Nicole Dalton. I have been a physician assistant for over 20 years, now turned menopause weight loss coach. I specifically work with women 35 and over in perimenopause and menopause to lose weight for the last time using real food for sustainable weight loss. If you're curious what this looks like getting coached, I would love to invite you to a free 30-minute coaching call. I will share that link in the show notes below, and I would love to hear from you. So let's dig in. Carbs, okay? So the first thing is do not do keto, period, okay? Why is that? Keto is very inflammatory. Now, I have so many women that have lost weight on keto, and you may have tried keto already, and you will notice you will lose weight, okay? But the problem with keto is it's not very sustainable and it cuts out food groups, okay? And keto, again, is very inflammatory. So during perimenopause and menopause, we already have so much extra inflammation in our bodies because of the insulin and cortisol levels that are going up in response to the declining estrogen and progesterone. So with this extra inflammation in our bodies that's causing us to gain weight, especially around our bellies, we need anti-inflammatory foods in our life to lose weight. And keto is inflammatory. So ditch the keto, okay? Do this instead. So carbs are absolutely important, okay? So I want to take you through why we need carbs in our life and what this needs to look like, okay? So first of all, carbs are in every food that we eat. I think I even joke with my clients that I feel like carbs are even in the air, right? Like carbs are everywhere. Carbs are good. We need carbs to fuel our body to give us energy. Carbs I compare to putting like gas in your gas tank. You need gas in your gas tank to drive. You need carbs in your life for energy, okay? So get past carbs are bad, right? Like carbs are good. We need carbs. Carbs are in everything. We need carbs, okay? So the problem is, if you live in America like me, the carbs that are the non-healthy carbs that I would suggest to stay away from would be the carbs that are processed. And by processed, I mean if it's not grown from the ground and someone has picked it or you have grown and picked it, those carbs that have sugar and flour are very inflammatory. So that's any processed food, any ultra processed foods that have especially the sugar and flour as your carbs. So what I think that a lot of women think of breads, pasta, noodles, sugars, cookies, cakes. I feel like when we think of carbs, we think of those types of carbs. And you're right, those carbs are the carbs I want you to stay away from because of the sugar and the flour. Those are very inflammatory. Again, we want to stay away from any foods and drinks that cause inflammation, especially in perimenopause and menopause, okay? We're already dealing with enough inflammation. The last thing we want to do is stress our body out more and put more inflammation because that makes it harder to lose weight. So cut out the sugar and the flour, and I know it's not that simple, but those are the carbs we do want to avoid. And how can you look at and just get curious with your current diet, with what you're doing with your foods, and how can you knock out a little bit more carbs in flour, okay? Flour and sugar in your diet. So those are the unhealthy carbs. But the healthy carbs that we want to get a lot of are our vegetables, our fruits, our legumes. That's our beans and our chickpeas, right? Like those carbs are healthy. They fuel us. We are in our brown rice, our quinoa, our sweet potato, our oats. Those are the healthy carbs I want you to think about, okay? Especially the vegetables and fruits. But those carbs are giving us energy, and I don't want you to be scared of eating vegetables and fruits and beans and oats and quinoa and brown rice. Those are healthy foods. Those were grown from the ground. Those are whole foods. So when we think about staying away from carbs or eating low carb, I want it to be okay if you're going and getting more carbs from all your whole foods. Okay, so there's a difference between those unhealthy carbs with sugar and flour and those healthy carbs that are grown from the ground, made for us as humans to eat. Those are the carbs I want you to focus on, okay? And what can we swap out? Some of those unhealthy carbs, okay? Your breads, your pastas, your cereals, your sodas, like what can we swap those out for? Because I know everyone has their favorites, like, right? I have my favorite junk food that I like, and I definitely have learned how to swap those out because you can still enjoy your favorite foods, but what are some swaps you can make in your life? Do you really need to eat the bread with every sandwich? Okay, can you just simply swap that out for a salad, or can you do a lettuce wrap? And so take your head of lettuce and just kind of peel the outer layer and fill that up with your veggies and if you're doing meat. So how can you swap out some of those unhealthy carbs in your life? And if you've not joined us over in my free Facebook community, Weight Loss for Midlife Women, I invite you to join. We have a lot of fun in our community of women, all going through the same journey of weight loss during perimenopause and menopause. And we do talk about a lot of healthy food swaps and what we can do instead of our favorite foods that are probably ultra processed. And that's the foods we want to get away from, because we won't lose weight if we continue to have those in our diet. A little bit's okay, right? But if that's our mainstay in our diet, we just won't lose the weight. I work with a lot of women who, when they come to me, they say, hey, I'm doing everything right. I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, but I'm still gaining weight and I'm still can't get this weight off. And when we get really specific and really look at the foods day to day, usually us Americans are getting a little bit too much flour and sugar in our diets, and that is contributing to us storing our weight. And a lot of women aren't even simply eating enough. So simply looking at the carbs in our life, again, focus on how can I get one more vegetable in my day. If you've not caught my veggie video about how to lose belly fat by just simply eating one more vegetable a day, it has to do with the carb and that fiber that's in the carb. And I will share that video in the show notes too. So if you've not caught that one, you can go back and listen through. And if you're truly just curious about more information on vegetables and carbs and how to make this simple for sustainable weight loss, I do have a very popular free masterclass that you can join. It's a 40-minute masterclass, but I go through 5 steps for essential weight loss, for sustainable weight loss. So I would love to invite you to join my free masterclass. And again, I'll share that link in the show notes if you are interested. So last take that I want you to think about with carbs. Don't think about carbs as being bad, okay? Carbs are good, but what swaps can you make in your day-to-day that will make your carb choices healthier, okay? So that's what I want you to think about. I would love to hear questions that you have for me about carbs and how to make healthy swaps, or maybe what swaps you're already doing. I would love to hear that information too. So please share in comments, hit like, please subscribe so you get notification every week of a new video that I am recording. So I would love to hear more from you. Otherwise, I don't know if women are watching. So please hit like, subscribe, comment. And if you are curious on working together, again, I will share that link to join me on your free 30-minute weight loss strategy call. I can't wait to hear from you.